Hello, hello friends, how are you? I hope you all are enjoying your lessons very well. Today, once again, I am your honorary ma'am, and today I am with your chapter number 5, The 100 Dresses, Part 1. Okay, and this is a very beautiful lesson. It is written by Albasar Esther, the writer of this lesson. Its pronunciation is like Albasar Esther, and she is the author of your lesson number 5, the 100 dresses. Okay, and in this you will get the idea of how classicism work on the mentality of the people and how their perspective to look a poor people in a different way. And here you show the clear image and picture of classism. Classism is kind of thing where rich poor contradiction you can find in this, and how this rich mentality try try to rule over the poor one. So here we see this classism in this lesson. Okay. Eleanor Estes was born on May 9, 1906, and she died in July 15, 1988, at the age of 80 or 81. She was an American children's author and a children's librarian. Her book, Ginger Pay, which she also created illustration for, won the Newbery Medal. 3 of her books were Newbery Honor winners, and one was awarded with the Lewis Carroll Shelf Award. Estes' books were based on her life in a small town, Connecticut, in the early 1900s. So here you basically find the idea of living of a small town person and how they are looked by the society or by the upper class. We can find in this lesson too. Okay, let's start with the introduction. So the lesson, The 100 Dresses, is about a girl named Vanda Petronsky, who claims to have 100 dresses. Her classmates made fun of her because what she claims is in contradiction to the fact that she was always seen wearing the same dress. Her classmates found her name to be funny. It was because everyone had easier names than Vanda Petronsky. So here in this 100 dresses lesson, it has a two part, the 100 dresses 1 and 100 dresses 2. 2 is your 6th chapter and first is your 5th chapter. So today we are dealing with this 5th chapter, and in this is the beginning of the story, where this lesson, the 100 dresses 1, is about a girl named Vanda who claims to have a 100 dresses. She always used to say that I have 100 dresses, all are in line in my closet. But her classmate made fun of her because what she claims is in a contradiction to the fact that she always seen wearing the same dress. She always wear a one dress only. So no one seen her in her school or in the school by changing her dress. She always used to wear a one dress only, and that is why people can't believe that if she has such 100 dresses, then why she is wearing a one particular dress, the faded blue color. Why she is wearing the one particular dress always if she has 100 dresses? Then her classmates found her name to be funny. They also make fun of her name because everyone has an easier name than Vanda Petronsky, because she is a Paul girl, means she is belongs to Poland. she belongs to Paul culture, so no one will easily accept her or her name. Yes, her name was different because she was a Polish immigrant who had come to an American town with her family. She was poor and did not have many friends. She was quiet and was always seen sitting in the corner of the classroom. The truth about the 100 dress is unveiled when she submitted her 100 drawings in a drawing contest. They were the same 100 dresses she used to talk about. All of them were immensely beautiful. So, her name was different because she was a Polish immigrant. As I told you, she was belongs to Poland. She is a Polish girl immigrant who come to an American town with her family. She was poor. She did not have many friends. She was quiet and was always sitting in the corner of the classroom. But the truth is that that 100 dresses she used to talk about, and the secret is revealed when the drawing competition came and she submitted her 100 drawings in the drawing competition, and they were the same 100 dresses she used to talk about when this girl Peggy and Maddie frequently asked her to, if you have dresses, then where they are, what kind of dresses, and she used to elaborate those dresses. And when they show this 100 dresses as a uh, so this 100 dresses as the 100 dresses drawings as the winner of the drawing competition, as the winner of the drawing competition, and and everyone feel like so surprised, and especially that Paddy and Maddie, sorry, not a Maggie, Maddie, who used to make fun of her, they also realized that she used to talk about the dresses, that 100 dresses. These are the dresses, means this she was talking about this 100 drawing sketch, this drawing sketch of dresses, and similar they find the similarities between this drawing sketch and the elaboration of Vanda, which she used to do when they used to tease her. Okay, now come to this lesson portion. So the first start with the first paragraph. Okay, today Monday, so the day was the Monday. Vanda Petronsky was not in her seat, but nobody, not even Peggy and Madeline, the short form is Maddie or the full name is Madeline, the girls who started all the fun, noticed her absence. Usually Vanda sat in the seat next to the last seat in the last row in room 13. So the room number, the class number of their this student's room is room number 13. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat, the corner of the room where there was most scuffling of feet, most roars of laughter when anything funny was said, and most mud and dirt on the floor. Vanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. On the contrary, dirt on the floor. Okay, so this is the first paragraph. Scuffling of feet, it means noisy, dragging movements of the feet on the ground. Okay, where most scuffling of feet, most roars of laughter when anything funny was said, and most mud and dirt on the floor. Dirt on the floor. Just a moment. Okay. So, scuffling of a feet means noisy, dragging movements of the feet on the ground. Okay, this story revolves around a girl named Venda Petronsky and her classmates, Peggy and Madeline, who made fun of her. The plot of the story opens up on a Monday. Even Peggy and Madeline did not notice that Venda was not present. These were the girls who began all the teasings. Venda generally used to sit in the corner of the classroom where the not so academically brilliant and loud guys sat. It was the part of the classroom which was the dirtiest which was the dirtiest. Venda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. On the contrary, she was very quiet and rarely said anything at all. And nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of smile, but that was all. So, why she was sitting there? It is not like that because Venda was like a girl who was rough, and Venda was not like those boys who are rough and noisy. Even uh, she was very quiet, even say something rarely or said anything at all in the class, and nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud. Sometimes if she feels like, then she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of a smile, but that was all. It means that Vanda was not like those boys, like rough and noisy. She was silent too, the extent that nobody had ever seen her laugh. So she was not like that, but though she used to sit, though no one is no one is known that why she used to take sit at the corner with that noisy and rough boys. Yes, nobody knew exactly why Vanda sat in that seat, unless it was because she came all the way from Boggins Heights and her feet were usually caked with dry mud. But no one really thought much about Vanda Petronsky. Once she sat in the corner of the room, the time when they thought about Vanda was outside of school hours, at noon time when they were coming back to school, or in the morning early before school began. When groups of two or three or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to the school yard, then sometimes they waited for Venda to have fun with her. Okay, so have fun with her, or this matlab, caked with dry mud means the shoes was fully covered with these dry mud. So now, since Venda was nothing like those boys, no one ever understood why she sat over there. There were only guessed that it is because she came from Boggins Heights and her shoes were usually dirty with all the mud. So they have just kind of assumptions that okay, she belongs to Boggins Heights. Boggins Heights is kind of a lower area of their region. So she belongs to that, as we know that she is poor, so she comes to that kind of area. So they just assumed that okay, she was sitting there and that in the corner of the class just because she belongs to or she came from Boggins Heights and her shoes were usually dirty with all the kind of mud because it's a muddy and dirty area. People hardly noticed her in the classroom as she was silent and alone all the time because she is not too much talkative. She is not mingled with the everyone. She was not mingled with the everyone time and again. So no one noticed her absence because she hardly have any kind of conversation with their fellow mates, classmates, and she didn't have friends also. So no one noticed her absence all the time because she was all alone all the time. It was only before or after school hours when groups of kids used to wait for her to mock her. People remember her when before school or after school where they used to make fun of her. They are waiting for her to mock on her that they thought of her. Some used to wait even at the cost of getting late for school. And some are doing this kind of thing so they can make fun of her, and by the time they can also not attend the school earlier. So hardly anyone can notice her, and people noticed her only when they want to make fun of her. The next day, Tuesday, Vanda was not in school either, and nobody noticed her absence again. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who didn't track in the whole lot of mud, did notice that Vanda wasn't there. Peggy was the most popular girl in school. She was pretty, she had many pretty clothes, and her hair was curly. Maddie was her closest friend. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Vanda's absence was because Vanda had made them late to school. They had waited and waited for Vanda to have some fun with her, and she just hadn't come. They often waited for Vanda Petronsky to have fun with her. So now the fact that Vanda was not present on Tuesday as well, but she was not also got noticed by this kind of his fellow her fellow classmates. So she got unnoticed by them. But it was on Wednesday when Maddie and Peggy noticed her absence. It was also then when they waited before school to make fun of her. Why they noticed her absence? Because they waited long for Vanda to make fun of her, but she didn't come. Waited before school to make fun of her, but instead ended up getting late because she didn't show up. They used to wait. They waited long for her, but she didn't came, and that's why they became late for their school. And though she didn't show up, so that is why Peggy was the so that is why they disappointed little bit, and they noticed her absence, that okay, Petronsky was not Vanda was not coming to school. Peggy was the most famous girl who wore good and tidy clothes. She sat with the toppers of the class. No one ever got curious about why Vanda was no longer coming to school. So you can say that Peggy is kind of diva of the school. So she grabbed the attention because she is beautiful. She wearing a kind of a high class clothes, and she has a curly hair and all kind of grooming things she did every day, and that is why no one, and she is very talkative also, so everyone, she grabbed the attentions of everyone. But Vanda was too silent and she was not part of this kind of activities, so perhaps that's why they were not paying attention to her, or maybe she was belongs to this kind of category, that is why they are not doing such a things to her. Who knows, no one get the idea about that. No one ever got curious about why Vanda was no longer coming to school, because they wants to make fun of her. That is why they notice that okay, she is not here. Otherwise no one cares about her, and no one have any kind of curiosity about why Vanda was no longer coming to the school. All they cared was they couldn't make fun of her. All they are mean, they are selfish, they want some entertainment. They get entertainment by insulting the other people, and that is the worst thing of your life. Whenever you are doing with such a people, think twice that okay, the same behavior if someone do towards to you, then how embarrassed you feel, how hurt you feel, and then you have to behave with the other one the similar way. So whenever you are doing bad behavior or rough behavior with others, first imagine yourself at them at their place, and then take a decision. Everyone needs, whether they are rich or poor, everyone needs and everyone has a right to give respect by the others. So give respect, it's our duty, and it is our duty as well as our responsibility. Okay, so they noticed her absence, but why? Because all they didn't care about Venda, because they couldn't make fun of her and they don't have their entertainment. That is why they are missing, or they are carrying her absence, that okay, Venda is not there. Venda Petronsky, most of the children in room 13 didn't have names like that. They had names easy to say, like Thomas, Smith, or Alan. There was one boy named Bounce, Willie Bounce, and people thought that was funny, but not funny in the same way that Petronsky was. Now, here the children have that habit to make fun of the other person's name, though their name are different from the our scenario or our understanding. We start making fun of their names. Here Venda was a Pole who had immigrated to America. She was basically from Poland, and that is why she has a name according to her culture. Here he come to the another culture. Obviously, if some Korean or some Spanish person came here in India, then their name are different from ours, because our culture is different, their culture is different. If we are going to study at their place, then our name should be the kind of alien kind of concept for them, where this kind of such a name doesn't exist over there. But it doesn't mean you started making fun of their name, you started insulted them with the reference of their different name or different culture. Your duty is to welcome the other person, make them comfortable, make them feel like home, so they can easily get attention of yours. They can get some kind of this respect and feelings from you, so they won't feel that they are outsider. And it is everyone's duty, if the others to if in your class also, if the students belongs to other region, other culture, so accept them, welcome them as they are. You will get to know something, you will learn something, and they will also learn from you. So acceptance is must. So you have to accept the things, though it doesn't matter that he or she belongs to other culture or other region or other state or other country. It doesn't matter at all. They are with you, so they also need their equality, their equal respect, and equal love. So it is our duty to give them the equal respect and acceptance. We have to welcome them, but these students won't do that. And that is why Venda was a Pole who had immigrated to America, and her fellow classmates thought that Venda Petronsky was a strange name, because they had simpler and easier name like American names, except a guy named William Bounce, which they thought that William Bounce seems like funny, but still lesser than Petronsky, and that is why they found her name to be long and unfamiliar. This shows that those children didn't understand diversity, and whatever they did was done out of thoughtlessness, because they are also not mature, but it is their parents and their teachers' duty, and obviously their teachers and their parents taught them to how to behave with the others one. But whatever they are doing, that is perhaps intentionally or maybe unintentionally or perhaps thoughtlessness, it is suggests that, but no one has right to do such a kind of things to the other. Okay, Vanda didn't have any friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that didn't hang right. It was clean. It was clean, but it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. She didn't have any friends, but a lot of girls liked to talk to her. Sometimes they surrounded her in the schoolyard as they stood watching the girls play hopscotch on the worn hard ground. Didn't hang right means didn't fit properly. And hopscotch is a game in which children hop into and over squares marked on the ground. Okay, that we are in Gujarati Paitada perhaps, or we are making square on the ground and used to play with this one and then two. First put a one leg, then two leg, then one two. Okay, this kind of hopscotch game in which children hop into and over squares marked on the ground. Okay, so Vanda usually seen wearing a faded blue dress that did not fit her properly, though clean. Her dress was clean. She was wearing a proper one dress every day, but dress was though not properly ironed, but it doesn't mean it is dirty. It is always clean. It used to took on iron. This shows that Vanda belonged to a poor family who could not afford too many dresses. Ironically, a lot of people talked to her, but she didn't have any friends because all of them talked to her in order to make fun of her. Everyone wants to talk her. Everyone's try to talk to her, but they are always try to talk with her in the different way, in the mocking way. They wants to make fun of her. They wants to make fun of her. They wants to mock on her, and that way they used to talk with her. No one talks to her because they care about her, because they concern about her. They only wants to talk with her because they want to make fun of her and they wants to get some kind of entertainment from teasing her. Okay, ironically, a lot of people talked to her, but she didn't have any friends because all of them talked to her in order to make fun of her. From her tale about 100 dresses to her unfamiliar name, they found it all amusing. When she used to watch little girls play in the ground, it was at that time other students surrounded her to mock her. When she used to watch little girls play in the ground, at that time the students surrounded her to mock on her. And whenever she was talking about the 100 dresses, the to her unfamiliar name, some everyone's think that okay, she is kind of a girl who used to you know, kind of speaking kind of rubbish kind of thing, because if she has 100 different dresses, then why she didn't wear it, why she always wear this same one blue faded blue dress. Vanda, Peggy would say in a most courteous manner as though she were talking to Miss Mashon. Vanda, she would say, giving one of her friends a nudge, tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? 100. Vanda would say, 100, exclaimed all the little girls incredulously, and the little ones would stop playing hopscotch and listen. Yea, 100, all lined up, said Vanda. Then her thin lips drew together in silence. What are they like? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. Yeah, all silk, all colors. Velvet too? Yeah, velvet too. 100 dresses. Vanda would repeat stolidly. All lined up in my closet. Then they would let her go, and then before she had gone very far, they couldn't help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. Nugs means a gentle push. Incredulously means showing unwillingness to believe. Courteous, polite, and respectful. Stolidly, calm, dependable, and showing little emotions and animations. shrieks, scream. So, with no intentions of hurting her, Peggy used to ask the number of dresses Vanda has in a very polite and respectful tone. They made fun of her because they couldn't understand why she made up that story about 100 dresses. They started making fun of her because she usually says that I have 100 dresses all in my closet lined up, but she always wore a one kind of faded blue dress, and that is why everybody feels that why she is making such kind of stories. And and very politely and very respectful tone, Peggy used to ask about the how many dresses you have, Vanda, in your closet, and every time she says that I have 100 dresses in my closet, all lined up. They did all this while being ignorant of the fact that it could hurt her. They all are doing to making fun of get enjoyment, but they never thought about her feelings that she got hurt by this kind of questions and this kind of interrogation. No one would believe her when she said she possessed 100 dresses all lined up in her closet. She used to repeat this that okay, I have 100 dresses all lined up in my closet, but no one believed that because she used to wear a one dress every day. No one would believe her when she said that she possessed 100 dresses all lined up in her closet. As the other girls screamed in astonishment, the little girls would stop playing in order to see what was going on, and Vanda would affirm their queries that she had dresses made of velvet and silk too. And sadly, after she left, they all used to laugh at her. So she firmly said those things continuously that okay, I have 100 dresses all in my closet. They are velvet and silk. There are dress regarding to velvet and silk too, and dresses made of velvet and silk too. And she says that okay, I have 100 dresses with me. And sadly, after she left, they all used to laugh at her. So they used to make fun of her. Yes, this then her thin lips drew together in silence. And what are they like? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. So here Peggy and Maddie tried to make fun of her by asking questions that okay, so you have in your closet silk dresses are too, said Peggy. And Vanda says yes, all silk in all colors, and velvet too. So okay, you have a mm, this dress is regarding velvet material too. And she says that okay, yes, velvet too, 100 dresses. Vanda repeatedly said the things, and they used to make fun of her. 100 dresses. Obviously, the only dress Vanda had was the blue one she wore every day. So why did she say she had 100? What a story! How many shoes did you say you had? 60 pairs all lined up my closet. Cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this. Exaggerated means overemphasis. Her eyes dull, having eyes wanting brightness, liveliness, and vivacity. It was hard to believe what Vanda said because the only dress she was seen wearing was the blue one that was faded. No one was sure as to why she lied. Although they were teasing her, they were never rude to her. Thus, in the same tone, they continued asking about the number of shoes she said she had to which she replied that 60, each pair different. She says that I have 60 pairs of shoes and each pair is different from one another. It was Peggy's ideas to embarrass her like that, though she was polite. She belongs to a high class, and though she is doing this kind of ridiculous behavior. Okay, then she used to ask this kind of sweat question in such a polite manner. but she being always sarcastic towards the Vanda. It was Peggy's idea to embarrass her like that, though she was polite. Peggy and Maddie, the inseparable friends, were the last ones to leave school, while Vanda would go back all alone with her dull eyes and behaved in a strange way. Because no one gave her respect, her show her concern and care, love towards her. They only used her as an object to make fun of someone or something, and then they all live together towards their home. And she is the only one who left alone, behaves in a strange way, and she is the last one to go alone at her home by her own. Okay, so this is how that okay, so